morning. We have a great show for you today. I'm Ryan Kramer.
And I'm Brittany Runk. And we'll be going to the Maryland Women's Heritage Center. So don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Good morning, I'm Brittany Runk.
I'm Ryan Kramer.
And we have an amazing episode today on Top of the Morning. We had an exciting interview.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, very exciting.
I was on live on there at the Maryland Women's Heritage Center for the art exhibit. And I got to interview the president of the Maryland Women's Heritage Center.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty cool.
Yes, let me show you. We have a clip right here. Welcome back. We're here with the president of the Women's Heritage Center, Maria Darby.
Hi there.
Hello. Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
So we're so thrilled to be in our amazing home here in the Women's Industrial Exchange, which has its own history. As a longtime Baltimorean, I spent many a day back in years ago in the dining here and shopping in the space that we're in. Used to be a store that women sold their wares. It was sort of a various things over many decades. But so it's great to be here, and we're thrilled to be partnering with Marian House, who does incredible work with women in transitional care as they sort of find their way back, as we all sometimes step off the path and need to find their way back. And we're really excited to be here. It's we've been doing the online piece and the website, which is wonderful, and social media. But there's nothing like being in community, right? To really feel the power of stories, the power of how women can make a difference collectively and individually. And it's just been an honor to serve this organization.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're here today setting up for our next evening of art, as we just set up the display in the window. And our reception this evening, Ellie and Diana are over there setting up for that, getting ready to welcome our guests to understand more about women and their stories and how we can express ourselves right here at the Women's Heritage Center.
Thank you so much for your time. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Oh my gosh, wow, that's so exciting.
I was very excited to be interviewing her. It was a great time and a great opportunity, honestly.
Yeah. So what was some of the biggest takeaways from your experience there?
Honestly, the history of women that are there. They moved to the Women's Industrial Exchange, which is very important, and they also have a big event happening on June 4th.
What event is that?
It's their brand. I think it's their opening, their
Okay.
grand opening of
Gotcha.
their change because they were stuck virtually for a while.
Right, yeah.
And we'll make sure we come back with more. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Ryan Kramer.
And I'm Brittany Ronk.
This is Top of the Morning. So, what do we got this morning?
Well, I did another fantastic interview of the artist for the art exhibit, Ellie Tryon.
So, what kind of art did she make for the exhibit?
Well, for the exhibit, she was kind of showing us how she does paint, but she does a lot of oil work and pastel work, which we're going to show you right now. Welcome back. We are here with Ellie Tryon Elgin.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for being here.
Oh, I'm very excited to be and exhibiting here at the Maryland Women's Heritage Center. It's quite an honor.
So, would you like to tell us more about some of your work?
Sure. Right now in the window is my figurative artwork, which was done from models from life. And basically when I'm working from a model, I try to kind of connect with who I'm painting and, what are they trying to tell me about themselves, because they're not going to be talking and they have to stay still for 20-minute slots at a time and taking a 5-minute break in between. So there are a few there. We try to set it up so that one I think is from a kind of a setup like a Monet, where it was a bartender and she was serving people. And my mother's background she was a waitress, so I guess I kind of tapped into that. And you can see the look on this woman's face is like, oh, I got another hour to go of dealing with, people that are demanding and being on her feet for long lengths of time. And you can see that in her face. So, and then the other was a woman, and she's in her slip, and she's looking in a mirror, and she just seems so melancholy. And you can see that there's a background. And there again, I guess tapping into my own background is, when you're trying to make ends meet, that you sit there sometimes and contemplate, what do I have to do next to make life work for me? So a lot of that is connecting a little bit with the model themselves, and then also with, you kind of paint in your life too. So artists do two things at the same time, kind of thing. So sometimes we don't always paint happy pictures, but there's a story in those images. My other is the landscape work. I do plein air painting, and I do it because I love being outside. I love painting the landscape before me, and I come to the feeling that I need to record our world the way it looks right now, because we have so many things going on. We have climate change, we have all kinds of things, and by telling this is what our world looks like in the best possible way that I can. And I like to capture the light when it comes through the trees. The magic of that filtering light coming through the trees is beautiful. So I just love doing that.
Thank you very much, and we hope you have an amazing exhibit today.
Yes.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ellie Tryon, Elgin, and when I do my paintings, I paint as E. Trion. So every time you see my paintings, you'll see E. Trion on there. You will not see the Elgin. That's the guy I married. He had nothing to do with what I do paint-wise. And what I want to talk about is what you see in the window there. And I have three types of paintings, well actually three types, but mostly two that you'll see, and that's my figurative work. And then there's the landscapes, and I think I brought one of my pastel portraits that I do. And they're of animals. I do a lot of pastel portraits of animals. And I brought my favorite boy, he is my Mac, he's my Airedale. He's now 14, and I don't know how long I want to have him. But he's my love, my furry face love that I paint. And I love doing animals. I grew up 4 blocks from the racetrack, spent a lot of time at the racetrack.
Wow, so that was very informative. It's great to see like a professional, someone really good at their craft, like teaching you how to do it. Exactly. So.
Especially a woman at that. It's nice to see women artists really taking charge.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. I'm sure that was a great experience getting to interview her and everything.
Absolutely. Just as good as the experience I had just being there in general, getting to meet everybody and see all of her pictures and everything.
And it's fantastic that they did this platform. We have a whole museum dedicated to this kind of stuff. So, all right, so we're going to go to a break real quick. We'll be back in a second.
I'm painting this. I'm remembering stories that my mother told me as working waitress and working in bars and serving drinks, and how tired she would be at the end of the day. And she says how to deal with some of the very demanding customers. And as I'm painting this, I'm internalizing what I'm seeing in front of me. And so you can see in this painting, this internal thing of I am tired, I've been here for hours, when is this going to end? And I have to deal with terrible customers, as well as nice customers, but you can see the tiredness on their face. And that's part of doing figurative work. And the other is I kind of tapped into my cultural heritage and background. For me, I'm of Scots-Irish descent. So there it is. I'm sitting there painting this young girl who is being a model, and she's in a slip. And she's in a slip, for me. And I'm painting her, and she's in front of this mirror, and there's something about how she's looking, how she is kind of, to me, I'm picking up on that contemplation this kind of, sadness. She had a melancholy type of look on her face to start with. I talked to her afterwards. I was surprised at how much I picked up on her own heritage and my own. And so we made a connection, and I put it in the painting. And a lot of people don't realize this is what artists do. When you're painting, when you're drawing, you kind of start connecting with the people that you're depicting. And
Welcome back to Top of the Morning. We were talking about the Maryland Women's Heritage Center and the interviews I got to do. I was telling you about the opening they have on June 4th. We get to hear a lot more about that with the other interview I had on Executive Director. Check it out right here. Welcome back. We're now here live with Diana Bailey, the Executive Director.
Good afternoon. Good to see you, and thank you for coming. We're really excited today because we're having a reception for one of the many artists that we host in our window. Every 2 months we have a different artist. So today's the reception for that, for Ellie Tryon, who does a lot of the artwork around the site that you'll be able to see. We hope that you'll come to another reception, which you'll see posted on our website, which is at MarylandWomen'sHeritageCenter.org. And you'll see all of our ongoing events. And behind me is one of the parts of the suffrage exhibit, and we've been working around the state for 10 suffrage markers that were supported by the Pomeroy Foundation. So that's been one of our big activities for the year. You'll also find a lot of suffrage information on our website as well. But one of the things I'm really excited about is finally, after being here on North Charles Street for over a year and a half, we were held up by obvious reasons for the pandemic, but we're having our grand reopening on Saturday, June the 4th at 10 in the morning. Please, we hope that you'll join us. There's a registration link on Eventbrite, just because we need to manage the crowd a little bit. So we hope to see you there. We'll have some exciting welcome back from a number of politicos. We also have some people from the past, and we'll also be unveiling some of our very special women's history projects from the past year. So hope to see you soon. Thank you for coming to the Maryland Women's Heritage Center.
Of Linda Mahoney. Can you tell us more about it?
Sure. Linda Mahoney was a long time advocate for women's history, women's rights, Equal Rights Amendment. She was on our board for many, many years. Unfortunately, on International Women's Day in March of 2021, she passed away suddenly. So a number of her friends and colleagues were doing a memorial service for her, and one of the partners, Susan Horst from Business and Professional Women, contracted with Ellie Elgin to commission the portrait of Linda Mahoney. And then after the memorial service was over, they gave it to us to have displayed here in the Women's Heritage Center. So Linda's with us every day, as she was in the past. Linda Mahoney lives through the art of Ellie Elgin Trion. We're so great.
Incredible.
We are so excited. About a couple of years ago, we were invited by Marion House, who was given this building by the Women's Industrial Exchange Foundation. And they invited us to become part of their women's family. So we've been here for that, but we're also thrilled to have a historic building, which is on the National Historic Register, which is fitting for women's history. We're also in the heart of Mount Vernon, where there's a lot of activity, restaurants, historic sites, that you can come and walk around the area, as well as coming to visit us here at 333 North Charles Street. We're part of the Baltimore National Heritage Area, which includes the Star Spangled Banner House, the Lewis Museum, Babe Ruth. So we're really part of a network of small museums in the city of Baltimore. So come and see us, have a walking tour of the area, and come on in to see some women's history. And thank you so much, Brittany, for coming to the Maryland Women's Heritage Center on this special day, and congratulations on your work as a new women videographer. A great career pathway for you.
Thank you guys for having me.
Sure.
Wow, that was great. Is there anything else you'd like to add to that,
I think she said everything we need there. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Top of the Morning.
history of the Women's Industrial Exchange. And so we are looking for old documents, photos, etc., from all different areas of Baltimore City, but in particular, we're looking for oral histories. So we're looking for those women who used to work here at the Exchange, who used to shop here, who used to eat lunch here, as well as anybody who has any stories about the Women's Industrial Exchange. So I hope that people can be looking for us in the future and helping to share the stories of the history of the Exchange.
If anybody has stories to say, where should they contact you?
They should contact us on the Maryland Women's Heritage Facebook page or the email.
Thank you. Any last thoughts?
I don't think so, Brittany. I'm just so glad that you're here to see where our new home is, and we are really excited to hear about the history of the Women's Industrial Exchange and the people that can contribute to that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us. We'll be back with more interviews.
definitely learned a lot about women from just that clip alone, so I'm definitely going to check it out. Other people should go and check that out.
Yes, please go down to the Maryland Women's Heritage Center at 333 North Charles Street. It was an incredible time, honestly.
Yeah. All right, well, that was our show today. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time. I'm Ryan Kramer.
And I'm Brittany Rock.
Have a good one.
Thank you for staying here. See you next time on Top of the Morning.
Drawing the horses and the hounds that were there. So that was a very important part of being able to draw animals. And my father got me a book on anatomy of horses and dogs. So you can imagine how well I know horses and dogs. But I can do cats and any animal that's on four legs I can do. I also love doing people. And when I would go up to the track, I would do little sketches of the grooms and the people that were at the stables and just what they were doing and my little quick sketches. And I've gotten better over the years. So yes, when I was little, they were young people sketches, and you could see that I would improve as I got older. When I'm doing the figurative work that's in there, I was working from a live model. A live model sits for about 20 minutes and takes a 5-minute break. Back to that, we do it in about 2 to 3 hours of working from a live model. Because after about 2 hours or 3 hours, not only is the model tired, but so is the artist. Because we're on our feet and we're concentrating very hard on the model, trying to get as much of the model, what they look like, and what is the story that they're trying to tell, and what are we bringing to the story? Because all of us have a backstory that's there. So there are 2 paintings in there, of figurative paintings of women that are so compelling in a lot of ways for me. One is Waiting to Serve, And waiting to serve, actually, a friend of mine, she set it up to look like a Monet painting, of the woman behind a bar going to serve the, barmaid. Well, actually, we now live in the modern age where everybody, when they want a portrait, they send you a photograph. And I'm like, I want to take a photograph of you. If you can't sit, let me at least take your photograph. If I can't, please get a photographer that knows what they're doing and send me more than one. I don't mind doing portraits. I sure like doing them, which I had done of Linda. Linda had already passed, so I had to work from a photograph from Linda. And I can't tell you, there was 25 photographs sent to me about Linda, and I'm going through them and picking out the ones that, okay, this works, this one works. And then, of course, well, we want this, and I tried to give them that, and they're like, no, that's not working. So we kept changing it. Finally, it was just Linda, and I'm like, thank goodness. Because
when you get the
she is the
different-
main star.
Yes. You get the different ones, the different photographs that people send you. So do you use that to try to create in your mind the image of the person if you don't know them? Is that what you're trying to get,
Well, what
like,
I
the feel
do
from
is I
that?
sit on the, even when I'm doing an animal portrait, I want to know about how you feel about your pet and how you feel. And I happen to know, I had known Linda Mahoney, so that was a plus on my part. But if I don't know someone, I will talk to them. I want to find out about who they are, why they want this done, how their background, the whole thing, who they are. Because while I'm painting, I'm actually talking